Hi, everyone. Welcome to Indeed Live. We're going to give it just a minute or so to let more people join, and then we will begin the presentation. So we'll just hold for a second here. Great. I think we will get started now. Before we kick off, I just wanted to say hello. My name is Erin Waddell, and I am the Insight Strategist here at Indeed. That means I help our job seekers and clients understand and engage with Indeed products. And I want to thank you all for joining me here today, whether it's your lunch period or you just found a little time for us. We're really appreciative of it. I'm going to share my screen again in a moment. So just give me 1 second to do that so everyone can see it. Great. So at Indeed, our mission is to help people get jobs. And as so many of us have had our lives and jobs profoundly impacted by COVID-19, we want to remind you that Indeed is here to help, which is why we're here today. So before we get started, I have a little bit of housekeeping, as we normally do. Just a quick disclaimer that the information in this video is for informational purposes only. Indeed is not a career or legal advisor. There's no need to take notes. We are recording. So you'll be able to view this webinar on demand later on Facebook or on YouTube. We'll be posting them to both. And finally, we really want you to ask questions. You can leave comments below, ask anything you like, don't be shy. And so with that in mind, I do have a bunch of things to share with you today. So here is our agenda. Today, we are going to talk about how Indeed is making it easier to find remote work and how to get started looking for and applying to jobs. I will also tell you about some employers that are urgently hiring right now. And finally, I'll wrap up by answering some of your questions. So again, please keep submitting any questions you have in the comments below. And so with that, I think it's time to jump in. So what we're going to start with today is the way Indeed works. And what that means is that we collect all job postings on the internet. We also display jobs that employers list only on Indeed. So when you're looking for a job, start by creating or updating your Indeed free account and resume. And then you can browse positions by location in the search bar. Indeed is easy to use with only 2 main search boxes on the homepage, what and where, which you can see on your screen right now. During your job search, it's also a really good idea to set up Indeed job alerts. That way you'll receive notifications when employers post new jobs that meet your criteria. You can choose how often you'd like to receive updates, and you can pause them at any time. So the other thing is that many of you want to know what Indeed is doing to make finding a job faster and easier given the impact COVID-19 has had on the job market. And we actually have made some recent updates that we hope will make searching for a job a little easier for everyone during this challenging time. So a lot of people are looking for roles that are fully remote or provide the option to work remotely. We've made updates to our site that make it easier for job seekers to connect with employers hiring for these roles. So there is 2 specific changes on this front. First, employers who post a job on Indeed can specify whether their job is fully remote or temporarily remote due to COVID-19. It's easy to search for these jobs. Just put the word remote in the what box or the where box right there on the Indeed homepage. Additionally, now when you search for a job on Indeed, we've made it easier to quickly identify which jobs are remote. So just look next to the location of a job in the search results to see if it includes the phrase remote work available. If it does, you can take a look at the full job description for more details on whether the job is fully remote or temporarily remote due to COVID-19. And I just wanted to mention that both of these updates are live right now, so hopefully you can put them to use right away. We have two more quick Indeed product tips that may be particularly useful right now. So first, if you want to receive updates as new remote jobs become available on Indeed, you can sign up for Indeed job alerts using the term remote in either the what or the where box. And you can decide how frequently you'd like to receive those updates, and you can turn them off at any time. Second, I want to make sure you are aware of Indeed's urgently hiring tag. So many of you have asked, are employers actually even hiring right now? And the answer is yes. So one of the ways to tell if an employer is actually hiring right now is to look for the urgently hiring icon on job posts. You'll see a little reddish purplish clock near the top of the posting, followed by the words urgently hiring. If you're looking for a job quickly, these could be a great place to start. And so let's talk a little more about searching for a job. You may want to know, how do I approach a job search in this climate? Like, where do I even start? So first things first, to start searching and applying for jobs on Indeed, you'll want to create or update again your free Indeed profile. From there, you can browse the jobs by location in the search bar and keep an eye out for the urgently hiring employers I mentioned before. So before we look at who's hiring, I just wanted to provide a quick overview of the job market in Australia. And so here's a list of some of the industries that have been most and least impacted by COVID-19. Sectors such as nursing and driving are clear standouts throughout the coronavirus crisis, especially given the important roles nurses play in fighting the pandemic and the switch to delivery that restaurants across Australia have had to make. Industries that we've seen a larger than average decline are beauty and wellness, childcare, sports, hospitality and tourism, and human resources. Many of these sectors have been directly impacted by COVID-19 restrictions. Many restaurants and state borders closed, sports competitions shut down, parents pulling their children out of school or childcare. So to help with your job search, we have put together a list that highlights some of the employers in Australia that are currently hiring and the roles they are looking to fill. Just before I continue, I want to say to make sure to bookmark the link on this slide right here. We will be posting that in the comments after this has ended, because we are going to be updating this with new companies and roles every fortnight. So I'll share a few examples of companies now and the roles that they're hiring for. So we have Westpac Group. They're hiring for personal banking advisors, business banking managers, and risk managers. Hungry Jack's is hiring crew members across the nation. Downer Group is hiring zero harm advisors, project engineers, project managers, and project directors. Kohl's is hiring trade qualified bakers and assistant store managers across the country. Bolton Clark is hiring personal care workers, screening and visitor management workers, and registered nurses. The Queensland government is hiring administration officers, communication officers, policy advisors, rangers, and registered nurses. The Tasmanian government is hiring hospital aides, registered nurses, and nurse unit managers. Murrumbidgee Local Health District is hiring enrolled nurses, registered nurses, clinical nurse educators, clinical specialists, and mental health clinicians. Again, these are just some of the companies that are on that list. All of the links in this presentation will be provided in the comments below afterwards, so don't forget to check them out and bookmark. And the other thing is, since many people's jobs have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, we've created a variety of resources that offer tips and best practices on how to work from home, how to find work if you need it, and how to navigate remote job search. So as you can see, there's a link on this slide. And again, we'll share that in the comments section after this session. And so I have a couple of questions that are coming through, which is great. Please keep asking. And so I'm going to see if I can answer them. So the first question is, John has asked, I have constantly applied for driving jobs and get nothing back. That's really stressful, and I'm really sorry to hear that this is happening. I know how stressful it is to apply to roles and hear nothing back. I think one of the main things to remember is that while some industries have been more impacted by this pandemic than not, it's very it's hard to think about this in this term, but a lot of companies could be receiving dozens, if not hundreds, of applicants for a single role. And so as a result, it might take them a little bit longer than usual to look through all of their applications and to respond to you. If it's been a couple of weeks since you applied and you have had, you do have the contact information of the recruiter or the hiring manager that you've been working with, I would drop them an email. If that's not an option, see if there's any way you can get in touch with them. And just make sure that you're tailoring your resume and cover letter to the job that you are applying for. And I know that's time consuming, especially if you're applying to multiple roles, but don't give up, keep at it. And I'm hoping that these employers get back to you sooner. That's a great question though. And I think a lot of people are dealing with that right now too. So another question that has come through from Jade, who has asked, how can I turn off job alerts when I don't need these anymore? Okay, that's a great question. And I hope that at some point everyone gets the job that they're after and they don't need the job alerts anymore. And so the answer to that is, if you log into your Indeed account on au.indeed.com, you'll see up in the right-hand corner that there's an option under your email address that you've registered with to click on an option called email preferences. So if you click on email preferences, you'll be taken to a screen that, if I remember correctly, says My Subscriptions. And from there, you can completely adjust any job alerts you have set up. You should see them all listed out. You'll see an option to toggle them between active or paused. You can edit them and select if you want to receive daily, weekly, or monthly updates. And you can delete them altogether if you don't want them anymore. So that's a great question. Thank you, Jade. I will just leave another couple minutes to see if there are any more questions coming through. Don't be shy. Great. Suresh has asked how to increase chances of getting an interview. Okay, so Suresh, this is a great question. I am assuming that you've already applied to these roles and you're waiting to hear back. This probably ties in with John's question earlier. Increasing chances of getting an interview, I would say my suggestions are to continue to reach out to these employers that you're hoping to hear from. Make sure that they know that you are still very interested. And maybe if you do have their email address, drop them an email, give them a call, just ask where things are at. You completely are in the right to do that. And just make sure that they know that you are still very keen to speak with them and to work for them as well. I'm sure that there's a lot of things that we apply to where it kind of seems like it goes off into the void. It's not a great feeling when you hit apply and nothing comes back, but don't be afraid to try to reach out to that company if they have contact details on their website and remind them that, you know, you're still there waiting for to hear from them. So we have a new question come through from Jerica. And she has asked, as a new migrant without local experience in finance, it's difficult to get a job related to my experience. Any tips on landing an office role? This is a great question. This is a really great question, as I also once migrated here and I did not have the skills or the experience of the role that I wanted either. And so my tips would be to talk about your transferable skills. I think it's really important to pay attention to anything that you have done in your current role or your previous career or role that is transferable to the office role that you are hoping for. So that could be things like leadership, project management, time management. Make sure that you are highlighting them in your resume and in your cover letter and focusing really heavily on them so that the people that are looking at your resume see that, oh, of the skills that we're looking for this role, she actually has some of these skills. So I'd say make sure you're focusing on transferable skills. And that actually goes for most people that are looking for any role that is not exactly what they had before. Transferable skills are very important and they're very valid. And as long as you're putting a really good focus on them, you should hopefully see that they help you get to where you want to go. So another question has come through from Stefano, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. He has asked, do you collect all job ads posted on the internet, or should we go through several services to get the full picture? That's a really good question, Stefano. We do what is called indexing. So if a job on the internet has there's 4 criteria that we have to pull a job in automatically. And if they hit those criteria, they automatically come onto Indeed. We also give employers the option to come onto our platform and post jobs themselves. So they can come onto Indeed and post a job on Indeed through our portal, and that would only be shown on Indeed. It's up to you wherever you would like to look for jobs. We put as many jobs as we can possibly find on our platform. And we are hoping that that's going to help everyone get jobs. But if you feel that it's in your best interest to look in a wide range of places, then by all means, go ahead and do that as well. I'm just going to see if there are any other questions coming through. Okay, great. One other question I see here from Louis has asked, I apply for jobs that I seem qualified and experienced for, but not getting interviews. I wonder if I am getting screened out by an ATS, which for those that don't know, that's an applicant tracking system. Any suggestions on how to get an interview? Big thanks. That's a really great question. That's such a great question. I think a lot of us have been there before as well. It's really hard to tell, especially when you go through a long application process, what certain criteria employers are looking for. I can't give you an answer on whether the ATS is screening you out or not, but I would say don't give up and keep applying. And again, maybe it's worth contacting the company if you haven't heard back in a long time and asking, you know, I'm not sure if I'm in the running. Am I still actually in the running for this role? If not, can you please give me some feedback on why? I think that's a very fair question. And I would say, again, if you look at the screen that I'm sharing, we have a career guide, the career guide up on our website that can help you with resume formatting. So if it's something that could potentially be in your resume, then we will share this in the comments after this, and you can go through and see if there's any tweaks you need to make to maybe make your resume a little more ATS friendly, and hopefully that can help. I'm not seeing any other questions come through right now, and that's okay because our Indeed moderators will go through and answer any questions that I've missed after this recording has ended. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone that's joined our Facebook Live today. And if you have any more questions, again, don't feel shy, pop them in below this. We will be sharing this out on YouTube as well, if that's a more friendly format or sharing format for you. And I'm really grateful that everyone took the time to join us today. We hope you found this helpful, and hopefully we will see you soon. Best of luck in your job searches as well. I hope that some of the questions you asked and the answers were helpful for other people too. And so please feel free to give us some feedback. So thank you, everyone, and hopefully we will see you soon.